Hello, everyone. How's it going? Uh, Let me know if the volume is still kind of messing with this new system. Let me know if my headset or the volume or anything is acting strange or too loud. I've got some really cool gaming to look at tonight. Give me 1 second. I know my headset is not working, or my headset's working. My no cam. Yeah, there's something weird going on where I can't seem to get my camera to work at the same time that my uh, that everything else is working. If I try to plug in my camera, um, everything else stops working, like my mouse. It's very weird, and I just had to help herd a cat out of the room. So lots of crazy things going on. I think yeah, something bigger might be going on with my USB system. I don't know what's going on. I can only plug in so many things. It starts going crazy. So I'll have to keep checking into that. But until then, I'll have to go just voice only. A couple of things I forgot to mention last time. Gloomhaven. I'm still working on the single player game with 3 players, just to try to get to a point where I can get a 4 player group, and then I'll probably start playing that quite a bit. So in between now and then, it's a little bit slow going, trying to go as fast as I can, but not getting a whole lot done. I should be able to do a lot of work on it this week and this weekend. But I've been trying to get to the point where I can play with a full complement of players characters, to show you that next week. They've been coming out with some pretty cool stuff. Regular patches coming in with new content, new cards, new abilities, new items. It's been a lot of fun playing without worrying about the durability issue. I am kind of wondering. I still feel like I'm getting a lot of items though, which is really cool. Um, I was worried that they would get really skimpy with the items, but you can still purchase and get quite a few for rewards and things like that. So that's always fun. And then they're having a new community event this week where they're trying to get people to kill 250,000 enemies. It started in January 23rd to February 6th, so it's actually getting close to being over with. Um, yeah, that's only 2 days away. So I'm not sure exactly what the turnout is so far. But if there's 250,000 enemies, they're going to release some new skins for every player. So it's pretty cool. Everybody's supposed to be working on that. Kind of a fun thing to do, and get some more people in there testing things for them. But the game still looks really great. Everything works really well for me. I haven't had any lockups or crashes or anything like that so far, and I've been playing with new characters too. So that's been fun to see. I am checking out tonight board game adaptation. It's been out a little while. The really cool thing about it is that this game was pretty huge in the board gaming community. It's created by Stonemeyer Games, who creates really amazing components, and the board is amazing. There's all kinds of really cool upgrades you can get for it. It's in a really cool world, done by it's either a Polish or Russian artist who kind of merges old farmland in Russia along with mechs. So it's kind of like a steampunky type Russian um, environment or world, which is really cool. So they created a board game out of it, and it's a competitive board game. And so, you know me and competitive board games, haven't really played it much. I haven't played it at all in the physical version. This is the first time I'm actually ever even playing Scythe. And I've had the digital adaptation for a while since I bought it on a sale. So I thought, hey, tonight it'd be kind of cool to check it out, look at the tutorial, see how well it teaches me how to play, if I can understand, um, and how it compares with other tutorials and in learning curve, that kind of thing. So that's the game we're looking at tonight, Scythe. I'm not sure who does the digital version of it. It might be Asmodee once again. Wouldn't be surprised. Let's see if I can look it up. It is kind of an expensive game. It's about $20. Yeah, it's published by Asmodee Digital, but was developed by Knights of Unity. I'm not sure what other games they've developed. Looks like just some DLC for Scythe. Scythe is their main thing. They did a Tools Up game, but I've never heard of that before. So, all right, there is some DLC as well. Looks like there is the invaders from afar. This is single player, and you can play split screen PvP and online PvP as well. So not sure already. Competitive game. Not sure I'll ever play with other people. It's sometimes the AI is fun enough to play, but I have enough stress in my life. I don't want to. I don't want to face real life humans in battle. So let's take a look at the tutorial. Let's look at the options. Got make sure I've got everything set. I'm pretty sure I had the graphics set pretty high. Okay. It looks like there's a rule book online. Oh, no, when you click it, it just brings up a PDF, which is fine. It's nice to have that option. And then there looks like there's an album where you can take a look at the really cool art. Lots of really amazing scenery. This is the art that was inspired, that inspired the game. Lots of really cool Russian elements plus steampunky mech elements. All right, so we're going into the tutorial. Whew, looks like there's a lot of steps. Teaches us about the game goals and action system first. Learn about the game progression system and core mechanics. I'm playing Polania. Your goal is to have the greatest fortune at the end of the game. And it looks like that's symbolized by a wreath. You can accumulate coins during the game, but you'll earn most of them during in-game scoring during the following categories. In the following categories. For every star token you place, every territory you control, and every 2 resources controlled. Okay, I'm assuming the coins are also victory points. Let's see. Yes, it looks like that is the number of coins, no limit. The amount of coins you earn depends on your level of popularity, which is the heart. The higher your popularity, the more coins you'll earn. You also get a few bonus coins based on where you built structures. Okay. The game progresses as players earn stars through various achievements. It ends when any of the players reaches 6 stars. Stars can be earned for accomplishing any of the following. Don't worry if you're not familiar with all the terms, we'll explain them later. I can complete 6 upgrades, deploy 4 mechs, build 4 structures, enlist all 4 recruits. Looks like these are all overlaid here on the top. Have all 8 workers on the board. Reveal 1 completed objective card. I guess not all of them are. Win combat up to 2 times. Have 18 popularity or have 16 power. You can preview this list by clicking the star at any time. Okay. Achieving all of the stars doesn't automatically grant victory, however. You can check these details anytime during the game. This is your player mat. At the bottom here, it contains all of the major actions you can perform during the game. You might notice the player mat is divided into 4 sections. I do notice that. During your turn, you're allowed to perform up to 2 actions from the player mat section of your choice. Okay, so I choose a column and then do the actions, up to 2 of them from that section. The actions are executed in top to down order. Each action is optional. You're always free to skip it. You need to select a different mat section each turn. Okay, so I can't pick the same map section every turn. Let's select the gain coin action. Coin gained. Let's skip the bottom action for now. Oh, and in the turn. Note that the section with the previously taken action is now disabled. You need to wait 1 turn to use it again. Okay. Let's look again at the star conditions. The wing symbol indicates power. You're very close to reaching the target 16 power. Oh yeah, I've got 14 in order to achieve 1 star. Color code of the actions. Okay, so if it's in red, if it's in a red square, that means I'm going to pay it. And if it's in a green square, it means I'm going to gain it. Makes sense. So I pay a coin, I get 2 power and bonus inspection. I guess that must be if I have an upgrade, I can get more power. So we'll do that action. You just obtain your first star. I don't know what I'm supposed to click here. I think round 2. Congratulations. Oh, next tutorial. So that was a quick tutorial. Yeah, PvP only, Joe. Sorry. I mean, I would play PvP with certain people. It's not to say that I wouldn't play competitive. I kind of like games that are a little competitive. They're not my favorite, but if I have to play competitive games, I definitely don't mind playing some of them, like Terraforming Mars, where it's kind of an asynchronous. You're doing your thing, the other person's doing their thing, and then eventually you total up points and see what happens. That's, the hands off. I'm not gonna screw with you. You can't screw with me. Kind of PvP is okay. And only if I know the person. I don't really like playing with strangers. It's kind of annoying. Next tutorial. I'm still Polenia. This might be a Polish artist. It's possible. I'm really terrible about doing my background research. I'm not sure what we're looking at in this tutorial. I'm sure it will tell us. So far, this doesn't seem terribly complicated as far as choosing actions anyway. Each of the 3 unit types in the game, characters, mechs, and workers, share 2 key similarities. They can move around the board, though not over rivers or onto lakes by default. They can transport any number of resource tokens. Okay, so they can move, they can transport resources. Makes sense. But they look like they've got some differences here. A territory is a hex on the board labeled with one of the following terrain types. It'll either be a farm, a forest, mountain, tundra, village, lake, or factory. For the purposes of the move action for any unit, all territories with a tunnel are considered to be adjacent to one another. Okay, so I can tunnel my way, take the subway, and move pretty quickly across the board. You control a territory if you have at least 1 unit there, a character, a worker. Okay, the workers look like meeples. The characters are wolves with flags. Mechs look like mechs. Or if you have a structure there with no enemy characters, workers, or mechs. Only 1 player at a time can control a territory. You have a home base that serves as a starting point and a place to retreat after losing combat. A home base is not a territory, so by default you cannot move units or build structures there. Each faction has its own permanent base location and different skills. Okay, that's kind of cool. Resources, wood, food, metal, and oil remain on the map once produced. You may only spend resources from territories you currently control. There is no limit to the number of resources. Okay. Let's execute this plan. Pack all workers on a mech and take them to a farm. Secure the unattended metal with your character. Okay, so there's 2 steps. First, I gotta pack all of my workers onto the mech. Secure the unattended metal with your character. Select the move action. Oh, so there's even actions down here. Moving the characters is also an action on this player mat. Okay, in our case, I'm going to move 2 characters, mech with loaded workers, and then another character. So I'm choosing that. Select a unit to move the mech. Note how the rivers constrain your range. You need a special skill to cross them. Use the transport area to load all your workers onto the mech. Note you can click each worker icon individually or use the arrow button to load them all at once. Nice. So they all get in easily. Choose the destination as the farm. Worker transport is an ability specific to the mech. Note that the carried workers can still move afterwards. Time for the character to seize the metal pile. So I could move with them if I wanted to as my second move, but I'm going to move the character here. Remember to pack your food. What? Oh. Ready to go? Select the hex with the metal on the other end of the tunnel. Okay, so I'm using a tunnel to move across the lake. Well done. All right. I guess I'm now got some metal I can gather. Polonia. Combat occurs at the end of a move action when a player's character or mechs enter territory controlled by opponent's characters or mechs. So combat looks like both sides dedicate up to 7 power from their pool. Ooh, this must be like a secret bidding kind of thing. You may augment the power with combat cards, as many as they have combat units participating in battle. Okay, so if I have a couple of units, I can dedicate a couple of cards and some power up to 7. Okay. The player with the highest total wins the combat. So there's not really a random roll, but you don't know what the other player is bidding for power or playing in combat cards. Both players pay the selected power and combat cards. The winner gains or maintains the control over the territory and any resources. They get a star unless they've already earned 2 combat stars. Okay. The loser retreats to their base, and if used any power or combat cards, they get a combat card. The Nords are approaching our base. Fortunately, we have 2 Polonia units nearby. Let's expand the stats to see if we can chase the Nords off. So the Nords have 10 power, but only up to 7 power may be used. So if they have no combat power cards, their total firepower remains at 7. That's interesting that the units don't have their own attack power. Polonia has 1 power, but 4 combat cards with 2 on them. You're allowed to use 1 combat card per combat with the mech and character. If both your mech and character attack with 2, I'll have a total of 5 firepower. That's still less than the Nordic 7, but we can still improve more. The bolster action allows you to buy 2 power for 1 coin. Let's give it a try. Okay, that's what I already did before. So we gain 2 power. Now I've got 3. And that should give me enough to win or tie. Let's end this turn and get the ambush ready. Select the move action to give an order to your units. Select your mech. Select the target field. Let your character join the fight as well so I can use a second combat card. Charge! The combat phase starts once the move action is finished. Select the battlefield to resolve the combat. Move the slider to select 3 power. So that was my limitation. And the enemy would know that. He could go all the way up to 7. Then I'm going to use both of my combat cards too. Now my total firepower is 7. Ready to face the enemy? So he could end up lowballing and not dedicating all 7. Victory, all according to plan. Well, apparently he paid nothing. The Nordic mech was chased off to its base. But be careful, now that you spent power and combat cards on a battle, you're an easier target for others. See, this is why I hate playing multiplayer games that are competitive. You can earn up to 2 stars for victorious battles, so I did get a star for that. If a loser dedicated at least 1 power or combat card, they gain a combat card. As they retreat, finally, workers are not fighters. They can neither attack, move to enemy territories, nor use combat cards. You lose 1 popularity for each enemy worker you forced to retreat by your attack. So I can't really attack enemy workers without losing popularity. That's interesting. Ooh, I'm playing the Nordics. The factory is the centerpiece of the Scythe board. It is a place of technological innovation and untapped power. When your character enters the factory for the first time and your move action is complete, look through the factory cards and take one. Interesting. Let's check it out. Select the move action. Select the character. Okay, so the factory are these special purple hexes. Move another unit, or just end the move action. Note, at the end of the game, the factory is worth a total of 3 territories to the player who controls it. Okay, so it's a special control space. But I'm going to end my move. Pick your loot, any of the cards. So I can gain the ability to, at some time, pay 1 power to gain 2 popularity, or pay 1 power to gain 3 coins. And then it looks like they both have some kind of move 1 unit up to 2 times within the same move action. Oh, okay, so it's like a fast move. Well, I don't have much popularity, but the coins are how I win. I'm going to do that. The selected card is now part of your player mat. You can choose actions on it just like any other. The choice you made is permanent. You cannot change it or get another card. Oh, so I guess I get that card permanently? Let's take the new action for a spin. Remember, red equals pay, green equals gain, so I can pay a power to get 3 coins. The exchanges work, the stats are updated. All factory cards have a bottom row move action. It's a little different than the standard move action, as it says move 1 unit up to 2 times within the same move action. Select a character. There's one more place I'd like to show you. It seems there's something special about one of the villages, highlighted in a different color. It's got this little green navigation symbol. As your character treks across Eastern Europa, they will encounter a number of local people and situations. Such encounter locations are marked with that green navigation symbol. Only characters will trigger an encounter. Let's see what's going on there. Click the card to reveal. Each encounter will present you with 3 options to determine how you want to interact with the people. If you don't have popularity or coins to pay for certain options, those options aren't available. The number in the upper left corner is just for referencing the card. Okay. So I can enjoy an afternoon festival with the commoners, gain $2 and 1 popularity, enter a battle of wits and lose on purpose, pay $2 to gain 2 power and 2 popularity. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do the second one? Drink too much and raid the storehouse. Pay 3 popularity to gain any 5 resources. That's kind of funny. Oh, okay. So you pay $2 to gain 2 coins to gain. I mean, I want to do that. I'm getting famous. Congrats. Keep walking in the way of righteousness. We're just burning through these. Every bottom row action requires resources. Oil, metal, wood, or food. They can be produced by your workers based on their placement. So terrain type mountain produces metal, farms produce food, tundra produces oil, forest wood, village workers, and then there's lakes, hexes, and factory hexes. Okay. Let's take a look at the produce action. The cost is related to the number of workers. At the start of the game, production is free. After making 2 workers, the power cost is unlocked, then popularity and coins. Huh. So this is the produce action. The cost is related to the number of workers. At the start of the game, production is free. After making 2 workers, the power cost is unlocked. Then the popularity cost and coins. The more workers you have put out on the map, the higher the cost to produce, and the higher the possible production output. Okay. Right now, the action will allow you to produce. Okay, so the costs are on the top, and I'll produce 2 iron, I think. Let's select it and get to work. The number of resources that can be produced on each field corresponds to the numbers of workers working on it. Press this space. Your 2 workers just produced 2 units of metal, but there's still 1 more production left. Let's not waste it. Cut 3 pieces of wood. Oh, that's just production. Okay. Cut 3 pieces of wood or extract 1 barrel of oil. Let's cut the wood. Excellent choice. The bottom row action is still out of reach, though. Okay, yeah, I'd have to pay for wood. The other way of getting resources is the trade action. It allows you to pay a coin and gain any 2 resources, any combination of oil, metal, food, and wood. This is especially useful if you want something that you can't produce. Let's buy some food. You can perform a trade on any hex with your worker except the base. Press the food icon. Pick the second resource to gain. The coin was deducted and resources placed on the selected territory. Keep your resources growing and your empire will flourish. Okay, that's interesting that I'm not... I guess I spend them right from where they're produced, or do I have to transport them somewhere? I guess we'll find out. Oof, upgrade. Upgrading improves the efficiency of the infrastructure in your growing empire. Number 1, the resource used to upgrade is oil. Okay, so basically I pay 3 oil and upgrade something. Unlock an additional... Okay, so basically once I pay for that, I unlock an additional gain square on a top action. If I pay 3 oil, I unlock that. Now I have that additional gain. Decrease the cost of any bottom action. Okay, or I can upgrade something and decrease the cost of an action. And then either way, I gain a cool benefit every time I upgrade. Either an extra resource or a less cost. Let's do that. Hit the highlighted hex 3 times to pay oil. Let's improve the move action. Currently, you can only move 2 units per turn. After the improvement, the number will increase to 3. Currently, a mech costs 3 units of metal. After optimizing, it will be 2. Okay, so I guess I get to do both improvements, top and bottom. Now you've gained extra mobility plus made your mechs cheaper. In total, you can perform up to 6 upgrades, which will earn you a victory star. Upgrading can be a powerful early game tactic, plus you can now afford a mech. But we'll get to that next time. I do like this tutorial that it's kind of bite-sized steps. Deploy. You can deploy mechs to protect your workers and expand your empire. The resource used to deploy mechs is metal. So it looks like there's an action where I can pay 3 metal and gain a mech. Each mech unlocks a new ability for all your mechs and character. Mechs can be deployed on a territory with your worker, but not the lakes. Mechs can transport workers, resources, and participate in combats. Select the deploy action. Hit the highlighted territory to pay for 3 metal. with each mech comes a new ability. You can unlock them in any order. Disarm has already been unlocked. Okay, so that's cool. I pick which improvement I want. Let's pick River Walk. I can move across rivers into forest or mountains. Finally, place the mech on a territory with at least one of your workers. And it's ready. We're going to take it for a spin next turn. Select the move action to test the new ability. Let's see what a new machine can do. Select a mech. Use your river walk ability. Wait, your river walk ability allows your mech to cross the river towards the forest and the mountains. Please note the transport section, which allows you to pick any workers and resources. Workers don't get the new abilities, so the only way to get them across the river is to carry them with your mech. Let's exercise the river walk skill. Your character also got the upgrade. Note that your river walk ability allows crossing the river toward the forest and mountains, but not the farms and villages. Interesting. So I can move to a forest or a mountain, but not a village. Each faction has different mech abilities. Make sure to check them when planning your grand strategy. Build. You can build structures to enhance your actions, control territories, and get in-game bonuses. Number 1, the resources used to build structures is wood, so 3 wood gets me a structure. Number 2, pick any structure type linked with the top action. Okay. So I can pick any of the columns, basically. Number 3, build a structure on a hex with your worker, but not the lake. Note that there may only be one structure on each territory. Number 4, the structure bonus activates whenever you take an assigned top action. Okay, so you get a bonus activity, or bonus action. I took the liberty of placing 2 structures already, the mine and the armory. Okay, looks like those abilities are open. The mine acts as a tunnel that only you can use. Select the move action to give it a try. Okay, so it's kind of cool. It goes with the ability. Select a character. Notice how many tunnel-connected territories you can go to. Seems that Crimea River left some supplies behind. Let's claim them. So I took a tunnel over there. Let's leave the workers where they are. We'll need them later in the move action phase. That's it for this turn. Let's try one of the actions connected with the armory bonus now. Gain popularity. So I pay a coin, I gain some popularity. Thanks to the armory, performing any top row action in that section gives you an additional power. That's cool. Anytime I do that action, I get additional power. Let's construct something new. Select the build action. Pay the required wood. Select the mill. Place the mill on an available hex. Territory you control with at least one worker on it and no other structures. The mill is ready. That's it for this turn. Now you've got a mill set and working. Let's see how it improves your economy. Select the produce action. The mill grants you an extra territory to produce, and it produces as if it were one worker. Complete the produce action. So we'll make some villagers, made some iron. Final notes. Only one structure can be built on each territory. Okay. I know, cry me a river. Opponents can't use your structure's abilities. Okay. A territory with one of your structures on it is under your control. However, if an opponent unit is on the territory with your structure, that territory is under their control. Structures cannot be destroyed or moved. Okay, that's good. You may build on the factory territory. Interesting. You cannot build. I thought they said it wasn't a territory. You can't build on lakes or bases. Sincerely, your Scythe Workers Union. Ooh, looks like I'm going against a bot. 2 bots. Enlist. Enlist gives you passive income whenever performance perform bottom actions. Okay. The resource used to enlist is food. Pick an ongoing recruit bonus assigned with a bottom row action. Pick a one-time bonus. Get an ongoing bonus whenever you or your direct neighbor player taking a turn before or after you takes an assigned bottom row action. Okay, so you basically pick the column to recruit on, and then if anybody uses that on your left or right, then you get that action, that bonus, and you pick it. Let's select the enlist action. Pay attention to the opponent's combat cards. They already got their recruits enlisted and are going to benefit from your enlist action. Hit the highlighted hex 3 times to pay for food, and to pay 3 food. Choose the ongoing bonus first. Let's activate the coin benefit tied to the deploy mech action. Here you can select a one-time bonus for for enlisting a recruit. You're allowed to pick any of them. Choose the option with 2 coins. Your neighbors had their recruits already enlisted and got their ongoing bonuses for your action. In a 2-player game, you may only gain this bonus once per opponent for each bottom row action. Recruits can grant you a nice passive income. The earlier you enlist them, the more you benefit. Okay, so that's like a permanent upgrade. So as long as I do that early, I'm going to get a bonus for a long time. Each player starts the game with 2 objectives that are kept secret from the other players. You can only achieve 1 objective star per game. So basically, I got to pick an objective and just not do the other one. You can read the details by selecting the dove icon on the top. Northern Advantage. Control at least 3 tundra territories at the end of your turn. Population Advantage. Control at least 3 village territories at the end of your turn. Okay. We can fulfill an objective either by controlling 3 tundra, which is the barrel territories, or 3 village territories. I might have an idea, but it's going to require a special ability. Each faction has a special ability. You can check yours by clicking on the faction emblem. Swim. Your workers may move across rivers. Ooh, workers. Nordic workers are accomplished swimmers who refuse to complain even when wading through the coldest of waters. They may move across rivers onto any type of terrain except for lakes. This ability applies only to workers, not the characters or mechs. While a character controls a village, we can use the swim ability for the workers to gain control. While the character controls a village, we can use the swim ability for the workers to gain control over the 2 neighboring villages. Let's select the move action. Move both workers across the river to the neighbor villages. Everyone is in position. Remember to mark the objective as completed before ending your turn. Cool. Well done. You earned a star. Since you can only do 1 objective, the other becomes obsolete now. So yeah, the earlier you play that, the better. But you would give it away that you already done, so everyone knows you're finished at that point with that objective. So it's not a mystery anymore. You're 1 star away from ending the game, but earning a 6th star doesn't necessarily mean you've won. Your goal is to have the greatest fortune at the end of the game. In this final episode, we're going to get familiar with the scoring formula. Before we deep dive into the maths, let's check the structure bonus. We'll need it for the calculation. over the tunnels is my structure bonus. Currently, you have 2 buildings on the tunnels, which can give you 4 coins. Okay. A mine does not count as a tunnel for this purpose. Okay, so it's just the ones with the tunnels. It looks like I have 2 territories. That's going to give me 4 gold. Make sense? Now let's take a look at the scoring cheat sheet. Polonius score calculation. Coins in hand is 12. Okay, that makes sense. Structure bonus is 0. But I thought Why is my structure bonus 0? Stars, I have 5 times 5 coins, 25. Territories, I own 3. Yes. Why don't I see my territories? Number of coins in hand. Structure bonus. Stars. Territories, I have 3. Resources, I have 0. Total 49. Note the multipliers coming from the 3rd popularity level. I have no idea what that means. Oh, okay, so depending on my popularity level, that's how many bonuses I get from my multiplier. So I have 18 popularity. So I'm getting 5 per each star, 4 per each territory. Okay. And then I just look at my resources somewhere. Okay. Makes sense, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, I do note this. Is there something I'm supposed to click on that I don't see? I guess let's go back. That's a strange... Ooh. Alright, I guess I'm going to restart that because I'm getting some weird glitchy stuff happening. Well, it's not good if there's a glitch in the tutorial. I was playing in OpenGL mode, so we'll see how much better the regular mode looks. Okay, that's nice. So it did put a check by everything. Faction abilities and objectives. I think I did that, so I'm just ready for the final score calculation. You're 1 star away. Okay, we're going to get to this. Right, structure bonus. See, I thought it said I had 4 coming to me. So if I look at the scoring cheat sheet, maybe there is no structure bonus. I don't know. It's very weird. Oh, once again, I'm not getting anything I can click on. Huh. I mean, I guess it's good that you can still exit out of here, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be clicking on. I mean, I know I got to click on this check mark, but for some reason it won't let me. I'll try one more time. Okay, so let's check the structure bonus. I mean, one of the problems right away is that it's telling me currently you have 2 buildings on the tunnels, which can give you 4, but I must not necessarily be getting 4. No, it does say tunnel territories with your structures on them. So I should be getting 4 in the scoring calculation. Oh, maybe I know, maybe I should close that window before I open the next one. It's interesting that there's a problem with the tutorial. Okay, I'll look at the cheat sheet. Well, I can't close this one. But it definitely cannot select anything, including the checkbox. That's interesting. Well, I was on the last stage, at least, of the tutorial. I mean, I guess I can see if I'm playing against the Nordic faction. I mean, I have more coins, I have more popularity, way more popularity, so my multipliers are going to be higher. More power, more cards, although that's not a... So it depends on the number of coins that you have in your hand, which I have more. Number of bonus, number of structure bonus, which I'm supposed to have 4. I have 5 stars. I have 3 territories and 0 resources. So it seems as though I would win that one. Or I mean, I understand how to determine whether or not I'm winning. So I guess I would delay getting my 6th star until I'm winning. Oh, I just started the game again. All right, well, paint shop. Oh, I can paint my models. That's cool. You can paint everything. That's kind of cool. More games. Lots of games you can play from Asmodee Digital. I did check out Pathfinder already last week. There's some other fun ones that might be worth checking out, just to kind of show some fun, smaller games at some point. So if I play, well, let's see. If I play online, obviously I can connect, find games. Looks like there's a couple of games in here. If I play, I can start a new game, load a game, save a game. Let's see. It comes with promo cards, prevent banned mat combos, Rus Viet industrial and Crimea. Patriotic might give an extra advantage and therefore not officially recommended. Huh. 6 to 7 player expansion with the invaders from afar adds 2 new factions and 2 player mats. It's cool. And to get that, it costs another $10. So you'd be paying $30 for the game total. Yeah, the tutorial is bugged for sure. I haven't, the game has pretty good reviews, so I'm assuming that the regular game can't be too bad. Um, so that's not too. That's pretty good. Okay, random. It's interesting that there's 2 players set up here. Um, they're both called player 1. I wonder if you have to have a minimum of 3 players. I wonder if you have to have 2 human players. Seems strange. Maybe I'm playing both Polania and Saxony. It looks like it. I wonder if that's so that you can have the correct. You have to have at least 3 players. It's very interesting. I'm interested in. Let's see. I'm gonna look this game up on. If you buy the physical board game, it is $59.29 on Amazon. It's pretty expensive, but they really do have a lot of really high quality components, and you can upgrade it really well. Um, it does say 1 to 5 players, so you can just play it with 1 player. But it's interesting that it seemed to me making me set up uh, at least 3 players. I'll try it again. Let's just see. New game. Oh, okay, here we go. So for some reason it set it up. Bot 1 medium, bot 2 easy. Huh. Oh, okay. Here you go. So you change that, and then now you're playing with just 1 other player. You play easy with a random player, random play style, but you can also have them work on just industrial, agricultural, random, patriotic. You can give them different kinds of focuses as you're playing against them. And you have to click the little arrows up here to select the difficulty. And so that's kind of how it plays. Um, really interesting. Again, sort of like with Armello, it might be a game that could be kind of fun to play against the AI. I'm not exactly sure if it's a game that excuse me. I'm not exactly sure if it's a game that I'd be excited about playing with another person. Um, it seems like it's pretty competitive, and you could get into like a combat aspect. The map seems pretty small, and the 2-player game, the players are set up on opposite sides, so we probably wouldn't run into each other too quickly. But it is interesting. I like the idea of the player mat on the ground on the lower level, and then you could actually get factories, which looks like the factory is kind of in the middle of everything. But you can get there and get like extra action bars, and you can't choose those again. Now I'm wondering if it resets it at the beginning of every turn, so you just can't pick the same action 2 turns in a row, basically. But you could pick it, the th- you know, the 3rd turn. Um, so yeah, really interesting game. I like the idea that all the territories can produce resources of some type or people. Well, obviously not all territories, like the lakes don't, but um, it is kind of neat as far as building up an engine. The fact that you can get upgrades and lower costs or increase rewards That would definitely be something I think that would be a lot of fun to kind of work toward. And then, of course, you'd have to find the perfect economic system. And it seems like the game is not really too random in terms of. Looks like everybody has different starting amounts, which is interesting. That may be based on difficulty, but oh, okay. So if I extend this resource up here, I can see my full resources, including mechs, structures, recruits, objectives. Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure if it would be a game I'd enjoy playing as much as a cooperative game. But again, there's not really a lot of cooperative games on on uh, on Steam, board games anyway, to play. Of course, it's the same way with video games. There's not a lot of cooperative games out there in general, but it is neat. It would be a fun game to. I think I would prefer to play the physical game with the components. It's kind of neat. They have a lot of really cool looking expansions as well, and of course you can expand it and play with even more players, and you can buy this huge neoprene mat and roll it out and play on that. Um, there is what's interesting about this game is it's really ubiquitous. They have it in a lot of places that you can play it. Obviously on Steam. I think they even have an iOS version that you can play on the iPad, and then they also have a mod for this as a downloadable paid DLC for Tabletop Simulator. So it's kind of cool. Oh, and you click on units and it tells you where you can move. That's cool. Yeah, so it's really interesting. I'm kind of interested in definitely the idea of how you'd start to build your empire, because it's like, well, you want mechs to get across the river, you want to get the river ability, um, because obviously I'm stuck behind all these. I can't move past these rivers, so I'd have to have a mech to do it. So it's kind of an interesting setup as far as a puzzle to kind of figure out your economy exactly. Might come back to this at some point uh, in order to kind of check it out against maybe an easy AI. That's a good question, Joe. I don't know how well they sell. I know. I mean, I think this game seems to do pretty well in general, board game wise, and so maybe that kind of spills over a little bit. People play it to be able to. People buy it to be able to play online when they can't always be around each other physically. Um, but there must be some kind of economics that are supporting more competitive games than cooperative games. Um, but that's a pretty big board game that's come out. It's kind of neat to see what it's finally like. Um, I'll be next week. I'll probably be checking out one more kind of competitive-ish game, but it seems like it's kind of a fun game to try out, and I think it'll be something that is very timely and apropos for the current cultural zeitgeist, if you will. But I'll be checking that out next week. And then after that, I'm hoping that I will be very close to beating the next boss in Gloomhaven so I can go back to that for a while. Otherwise, I've got a few little games that I can take a look at. Some really fun little games that you can play in your own time or with a friend. They're pretty fun little games, either physical or the digital adaptation. And what's really cool is some of them are available on iOS as well. So they're just as fun to play in a portable small version if you don't have them on Steam. Lots of neat little games we'll check out after that. So there's a lot of games to check out still. It's not like I'm running out of things, but and I would like to check out why can't I think of the name? Sentinels one more time as in terms of the solo. But those are kind of the lineup of games that we're taking a look at so far. And then very soon we'll be back to doing some more Gloomhaven previewing. Got a lot of things to check out on there, and checking out a 4-player co-op adventure mode version. And then what I'm hoping is by that point, we may be able to segue into some cooperative as well. But until then, be sure to check out Saturday. We've got table flipping games playing Marvel Champions. By the way, I don't know if all of you know this. Joe, did you hear your favorite you've been waiting for was just announced today? Doctor Strange Hero Pack's coming out very soon. So that'll be really cool in the physical version, and I'm sure it won't take long for it to get onto tabletop. But we're continuing our fight against Claw. We should be soon, we should be done very soon, one way or the other, and then we're decide what we're going to do after that point. It may be a really quick finish, and we may just decide to start back up another a scenario again, or move on to a different game. But we're slowly moving toward picking our new season coming up. What we're going to play next is kind of up for debate. Give us a lot of yeah, it is really cool. Giving us give us any suggestions you have. I know some people have already contributed some campaign ideas. A couple people have talked about Imperial Assault. We had one person suggest Seventh Continent or some more Arkham card game. Keep those options coming in, and we will keep playing. Been a lot of fun. So tune in Saturdays to see that, and then I'll be back here again next week with some more board game adaptations and look at some tutorials and get excited about it. It's a lot of fun. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Hopefully, my camera will be working next week. Take care of me. Bye.